So right angle triangle, and we want to find a missing side. First thing we need to do is to name our sides. So find the right angle. Straight across from that is your hypotenuse. Then find the angle that you're using. Go straight across from that, and that's your opposite. And the one that's left is the adjacent. So we're going to tick off what we know and what we want to know. So we know the hypotenuse, so we're going to put a tick at the H's, and we want to know the adjacent, so we put a tick at the A's. So the one with two ticks is K, so we're going to be using cosine. So filling in what we know, the cosine of 32 degrees is equal to the adjacent, which is what we're trying to find out, divided by the hypotenuse, which we know. So to get rid of our fraction, we multiply by what's on the bottom. So we've got 14 on the bottom, so we're going to multiply both sides by that. So we're going to get 14 cos 32 degrees is equal to x, and that's what we're going to put into the calculator. So we get 11.872. Remember to put it to about 3 decimal places, and then dot dot dot, and then you're going to round to whatever you're told to. For these ones, I'm going to round them to 1 decimal place. So rounding that to 1 decimal place is 11.9 centimetres. So another right angle triangle. Start by naming the sides, find the right angle, straight across, that's your hypotenuse. Find the angle that we're working with, straight across, that's your opposite. And the one that's left is the adjacent. So we're going to tick off the sides that we know and the ones that we want to know. So we know the opposite, so we are going to tick that one off. Tick off the O's. And we want to know the hypotenuse this time. So we are going to tick off the H's. So the one with 2 ticks is so. We're going to be using sine. So filling in our sides, the sine of 23 degrees is equal to the opposite over the hypotenuse, so 5 over x. Now we've got to be careful because what we're trying to find this time is on the bottom. Our x is down here. So we rearrange it like this. So our x and sine 23 have swapped positions, and this is how we put it into the calculator. So x is equal to 12.796. Again, do it to 3 decimal places, and then we're going to round to 1 decimal place. So x is equal to 12.8. We use centimetres. Always be careful to put your units in at the end. Okay, whatever it is you're using. Okay, this time we're going to be finding an angle. Again, we're going to start by naming our sides. Right angle, straight across, that's your hypotenuse. Angle that we're working with, straight across, this is our opposite. And the one that's left, that's our adjacent. So again, we're going to tick off the sides that we know. So we know the opposite, so we're going to tick the O's. And we know the adjacent, so we're going to tick the A's. And the one with 2 ticks this time is TOA, so we're going to be using tan. So filling in what we know, the tan of x degrees is equal to the opposite over the adjacent, which is 13 over 8. So because we're trying to use an angle this time, we have to use the inverse of tan. So in your calculator, you're going to press Shift tan, and we're going to rearrange it. So this is how we rearrange it. Remember, this little -1 here means the inverse function of tan. So on the calculator, Shift tan 13 over 8. So our angle is 58.392. Again, do it to about 3 decimal places, dot dot dot, then round to 1 decimal place. So rounding it gives us 58.4 degrees. So for this example, we have got 2 sides and we need to find the third side, so we're going to use Pythagoras. So first of all, we need to see if we're finding a short side or the longest side. So again, we're going to find the right angle, straight across. There's my longest side, the hypotenuse. We're finding the longest side, so that means we have to add. So x squared is equal to 7 squared plus 5 squared. So x squared is equal to 74. But I don't want x squared, I want x by itself, so I'm going to use the square root. So x is equal to the square root of 74. Again, write it to 3 decimal places, so 8.602, and then round. I'm going to round it to 1 decimal place, so 8.6 centimetres. Remember your units at the end. So again, right angle triangle, we've got two sides, we need to find a missing one. We're going to use Pythagoras. Find the right angle, look across, there's the longest side, that means we're finding a short one, which means we have to take away. So x squared is equal to 20 squared, take away 13 squared. So x squared is equal to 231. But again, I don't want x squared, I want x, so I need to use the square root. X is equal to the square root of 231. So x is equal to 15.198 ... round to 1 decimal place, 15.2 centimetres. Again, remember your units.